Welcome to this night flight test of the DJI Neo. Can this compact drone handle low light conditions? Let's find out.
Takeoff. Home point updated.
Let's start with takeoff. The DJI lifts off smoothly, but I did notice something. It doesn't always stay perfectly still and hover right away. For the first few seconds, there's a bit of instability, almost like it's adjusting itself. It can drift slightly before stabilizing, but once it gains altitude, it locks into position and flies steadily. This isn't a major issue, but if you're flying in a tight space or near obstacles, it's something to keep in mind. My advice? Give it a few extra seconds to settle before making precise maneuvers. Flying the DJI Neo at night is a really cool experience. The controls remain precise and responsive, just like during the day. However, there's one critical aspect to consider. This drone has no obstacle avoidance at all. That means you, as the pilot, are fully responsible for avoiding obstacles. And here's where night flying becomes really tricky. Spotting obstacles visually is much harder, both with your own eyes and through the drone's camera. Wires, tree branches, and other small objects can be difficult to see, especially in darker areas. Another major challenge is keeping track of the drone itself. Since the DJI Neo has no LED lights, it blends completely into the dark sky, making it very difficult to spot once it gains altitude or moves further away. This can make orientation much harder, especially if you're flying in an open area with no clear visual reference points. If you're flying in an urban environment, stick to open spaces or well-lit areas to minimize the risk. Flying near streetlights or illuminated buildings can help you maintain better visibility and reduce the chances of losing track of the drone. Now, let's talk about camera performance. This is where things get interesting. The 4K sensor does a decent job capturing details, but you'll notice some noise and graininess in darker areas. City lights and well-lit scenes look sharp and vibrant, but as soon as you move into darker environments, you start seeing the limits of the camera. One thing I'd recommend is tweaking ISO settings manually. The auto mode does a decent job, but lowering the ISO can help reduce noise. Also, keep in mind that motion blur becomes more noticeable at night, so flying slower will give you better results. If you're taking photos at night, switching to manual mode can help improve image quality. Setting the shutter speed to 1/10 of a second while keeping ISO on auto allows the camera to gather a bit more light, resulting in slightly cleaner shots with less noise and better exposure. While the difference isn't huge, it does provide a noticeable improvement, especially in areas with mixed lighting. However, since longer exposures can introduce motion blur, it's important to keep the drone as stable as possible before taking the shot. So, is the DJI Neo a good drone for night flying? Yes, if you're flying in well-lit areas. It delivers great results with artificial lighting, not ideal for extreme darkness. Without additional light sources, the image quality suffers. Overall, I'd say Neo is a great choice for casual night flying and cityscape footage, but if you're looking for professional low-light cinematography, you might need a more advanced camera setup. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss future content.